Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with another episode of Quest to Legend. Last time I made a deck for Warrior on the basis of one of your suggestions from the comments. I was trying to do this rogue deck that sucked, and it worked really well. I don't want to spoil the video, but it worked really well. So I got some more feedback from folks, and I want to talk a little bit about some of the basic principles in this deck. If you want to skip ahead to the games, I'll put a timestamp in the description that tells you when the game starts if you don't want to listen to this stuff. But in a nutshell, a lot of folks were suggesting that I put in more enraged stuff, like Raging Worgen, Gurubashi Berserker, stuff like that. So I just want to talk a little bit. I'm not a constructed expert by any means, but just to explain my thinking so you can tell me if I'm wrong, or you can say, oh, okay, that makes sense. So look at Raging Worgen right here. Why don't I want this card in the deck? Well, the reason is that this is not really helping the deck achieve its purpose. The purpose of this deck is to be very flexible and to either burn the opponent out or to fight a quote-unquote fair game and then win in the long run through board control. Well, the Raging Worgen is really good at only one thing, which is burning the opponent out real fast. You play it, if it lives, you can enrage it, perhaps, with Whirlwind or Inner Rage or something, and then swing for tons and tons of damage. But it's only one-sided, this card. It doesn't really help in any other way. So, for example, other cards here like Arcanite Reaper do help. I can't make this bigger, but other cards like Arcanite Reaper do help this deck be flexible because the Arcanite Reaper can be used to fight fair and kill the opponent's minions, or it can be used to send damage to the face. It can either burn or it can control. So I don't want cards here that don't really do a good job of controlling. So another good example is the Gurubashi Berserker. I mean, something that only has 2 power when it hits and costs 5 of mana for the round, that takes like a few turns to get going. It's really great if you can, like, you know, give it charge with a Warsong Commander and then enrage it and swing for tons of damage with charge, but that's not really what this deck is trying to do. It's not to say these are bad cards, they just don't match the function of this deck. This isn't really an enraged deck. Now, there are cards that would work in an enraged deck, like Enrage and Whirlwind and Cruel Taskmaster, but here they're serving other purposes. These are actually more for, like, removal and the possibility to enrage your own things, such as, for example, an Amani Berserker, is just something, or a Frothing Berserker, is just something that can kind of happen on the side. Now, that said, there were some interesting suggestions that came in. I am going to go ahead and enact a couple. I just want to test out Slam. Some folks suggested that Slam would be a good card to put into the deck, so I want to take out one Rampage and put in one Slam. In this Injured Blade Master, it does have some positive interactions. However, I want to take it out and put in an Acolyte of Pain, because it would be nice to have a little bit more card draw, and the Acolyte works really nicely with a whole bunch of things. The Cruel Taskmaster, the Whirlwind, the Inner Rage, all work really nicely with Acolyte of Pain, so I like the idea of having that in there. We'll test it out and see if I miss the 4 power of the Injured Blade Master, or if I'm fine with things the way that they are. So let's go ahead and get back into the queue and start our first game. Alright, so, sorry I had to do a little bit of G-chatting there, and we're coming up, according to this queue timer, on our first opponent. Oh god, it's freezing. There we go. Okay, I heard the sound. That means greatness is upon us, and we're about to fight our first match. I'm on a win streak. I will spoil that much, so I might be able to get to rank 15 with this game. Rampage, the priest. Hey, he's playing with one of my cards. That's great. Okay, this is a really awkward moment, because I'd love to play this on turn 3 and this on turn 4, clearly. Don't want to hold out for that on turn 5. We'll just mulligan that 5-drop and just kind of gamble a bit that I get a 2-drop in my first 3 draws somewhere. I mean, I do have Fiery War Axe, Fairy Dragon, and Amani Berserker are all cards in here that I could draw. Here I drew Heroic Strike. This might be used to kill a creature. I think a Heroic Strike is definitely worth using to kill a Northshire Cleric if I don't get a real card, and I didn't, so that's fine. Fiery War Axe would have been a lot better there, obviously leaving a War Axe in my hand to kill something else with, but this is okay. So next turn we'll probably play a Frothing Berserker. A bit of a tenuous situation though, he still has the coin. If he makes a play here, the Frothing Berserker's odds of surviving actually drop quite a bit. That's why I would have liked to have a Fiery War Axe in my hand. That'll kill just about any 2-drop that he could play other than an Acidic Swamp Ooze. And then I'd feel much more comfortable playing this the following turn. But either way, even if this does die, hopefully he doesn't kill it in such high style that the Chillwind Yeti or the Senjin aren't good next turn. Oh, he doesn't have a play. Well, that's great. So we'll play the Frothing Berserker. Really the only card priests have to deal with this is Shadow Word Pain, which I would expect every priest to be playing with 2 copies of. So this is basically like a find out if he has Shadow Word Pain moment. If he does, that would be his whole turn, so it wouldn't be the end of the world. But I'd, of course, like to keep the Frothing Berserker if I at all can. Priests, you know, I'd expect on average to have slower starts than other classes. He's going to do a coin play, and is this a Senjin coming up? Light Spawn. Well, I think what I have to do is actually kill this, unfortunately. Fiery War Axe. Okay, there's a couple of options here. So option number 1, I could play the Kor'kron Elite, run into the Light Spawn, make it a 1-1. My Kor'kron dies, and then the Frothing Berserker, I'll just kill the Light Spawn at that point, and he'll be pretty huge. Another option now, I drew the Fiery War Axe a bit late. I could use it to hit the Light Spawn down to 2 health, and then still finish it off with the Frothing Berserker. The disadvantage of that move is that it leaves the Frothing Berserker at 2 health rather than 3, which is a big difference against a priest, because it makes it so that Holy Smite and Holy Nova both finish it off. I'm going to go ahead and use the Kor'kron Elite here. It uses up more of my mana. The health difference is very relevant. And also, it keeps my more valuable card back here. Well, perhaps this is more valuable. It's hard to say. I would have loved to just play Arcanite Reaper and kill the Light Spawn, but hopefully he'll do that again. I'd love to see another Light Spawn right now. Then I'll play Arcanite Reaper and kill it. Oh my god, Mass Dispel! Who plays Mass Dispel? Seriously. That's lame. Okay, we're going to go ahead and play a Chillwind Yeti. Why not a Senjin, you ask? Well, I don't really need the taunt, and this extra power could actually make a difference. I mean, first of all, I'm dodging Shadow Word Pains, and second of all, I mean, it just might be hitting my opponent harder, and he did draw a card off of that Dispel, so it might be that, you know, he gets a little bit of card advantage. Actually, no, that didn't really do anything, did it? The Mass Dispel kept my creature on the board, it just cycled for 4 mana. So yeah, I guess we're fine here. Zero Drake, okay. That's probably going to eat an Arcanite Reaper. Ooh, boy. Gosh, this is a tricky moment. Okay, so, options. Option number 1, I could play Arcanite Reaper, just kill the Azure Drake, swing for 6. No probado. Option number 2, I could play Frothing Berserker, and then kill the Azure Drake with the Yeti. Then the Yeti is vulnerable to Holy Smite and Holy Nova, but neither of the other creatures are. So actually, that's the best, I think. I think this is the best move, because I also get to play a Berserker. We're going to go ahead and kill that. And swing for 2. It's a bit of a difficult board for a priest to deal with, honestly. Even if he plays another Mass Dispel, I think I'm actually alright with that. And then we have 10 plus 6 is 16 points of burn damage over 4 turns. That's kind of the problem. This takes 4 turns to deliver the damage. But if these minions are allowed to attack, my opponent's going to be in a lot of trouble. So you can see this is not an enraged deck. I'm just trying to put quality creatures onto the board, and you know, depending on the situation, the Fiery War Axes can be burn or they can be control. And that's what I really like about this deck. That's the theme of the deck, in my opinion anyway. So my opponent's in a bind. It's difficult for a priest to deal with this. He could have like a mind control tech, but I don't know that that's being played in Constructed right now. Shadow Madness wouldn't really work very effectively here. He could only steal the Berserkers. He's just going to play a Holy Nova. Oh my god, I hope he has like a Holy Smite after this. Or something, because this enrages my Berserker and it makes the Frothing Berserker gigantic. So I would never in a million years of Holy Nova there unless I had a Holy Smite to finish the Frothing Berserker off afterwards. If he doesn't play Holy Smite here, that's just crazy. What is this? Inner Fire. Oh my god, wow, well played. No, that was really well played. I did not expect that. That was really nicely done. Okay, so I'm going to play the Yeti here. Under the same logic, I don't actually need taunt. I don't expect charge creatures out of my opponent. If he does play an Argent Commander, then so be it. But I started hitting the Fiery War Axe at his face. We're getting ready to burn him out. Now, if he plays another Holy Nova, I might be in a little bit of trouble, because that would kill off like 3 of my creatures. With Inner Fire, though, it seems like this is like a combo priest deck, so, well, it probably would have a second Holy Nova in it. It's just, you know, not super likely that he'd have it. So if he Holy Novas here, it does kill off the Berserker, and the Berserker. And then the Yeti, which should survive. He'd go to 18 health from the Holy Nova, 20 from the hero ability heal. I'd get him down to 16, down to 13. Oh man, this Arcanite Reaper's not quite enough to burn him out. So the card advantage he'd get from another Holy Nova here could actually let him win the game. But, I mean, I do still have cards in my deck, so like I could definitely keep on applying pressure. If I got Gorehowl or something, then the Arcanite Reaper should be enough to finish my opponent off. And I do have Ascension to play. I can't play Ascension and Arcanite next turn, which is unfortunate. But I don't necessarily need to. Alright, no Holy Nova, just Shadow Word Death for my 5/1. That's pretty good. That's like almost half of his mana just killing one of my creatures. He needs to do better than that. Note that Shadow Word Death does not damage the minion, so that's not causing my Frothing Berserker to enrage. But do keep in mind, this guy still has his ability. He was not silenced, he was inner fired, so he will continue to get heavier and heavier, or bigger and bigger as things damage each other. There's a light, well, makes me wish I was holding an Arcanite Reaper in my hand. So now I have to decide, do I just go everything for the face, or do I kill off this Lightwell? Knowing that he's got, you know, inner fire stuff. Oh, okay, well, we need to do a quick check here. Heroic Strike kind of changes things. What do we got? We got, I could deal potentially 9 damage with these two cards. 9 plus 8 is, oh my god, 17 damage. God darn it. Okay, here's what we'll do. I'm gonna go ahead and kill that Lightwell just in case. Some of the damage I'm losing is being made up by that Frothing Berserker. Swing here. Note that Heroic Strike is not usable right now because I've already attacked with my hero this turn. I hit the Lightwell. Getting him down to 1 health, I mean, I could have done it, and I still would have had the weapon in my hand, but I didn't want to lose to like him just playing a taunt or something, so I'd rather keep all my minions here, get the Lightwell off the board, and then finish him out next turn. So this is 9 damage here, plus all of my minions still have work to do. Holy Nova's not very good here. It kills off my Berserkers, but these two creatures survive in high style, and then he can't finish them off very easily with only 3 mana. This should be a win. He's got 6 cards to my... Actually, 6. I'm not even behind on cards, which is funny. Like, he doesn't have the... Usually when your opponent's ahead on the board, it's because he traded some cards for that, and you'll be ahead on cards, you just don't have time to play your cards out. But not here. He's not really even ahead on cards. I just have more of mine on the board. Thoughtsteal could get some good stuff. Trying to think what he could get that would help him.
In the light's name.
Certainly not that. Okay, I don't know what he's doing. Looks like a Desperado move at this point. Yeah, Thoughtsteal, I don't know what he'd get that would be that helpful. Okay, so this is it. That is the game. I don't think I even need my weapon. What is this? 8/11. Yeah, I have enough to kill him, and he sees it, so well played. Man, this Frothing Berserker was a hero. Dropped on turn 3, still alive on turn 8. Getting some kills in there. Oh man, I need 4 stars now to climb in ranks? Oh, that's hard. Well, 15's the highest I've ever been, so that's cool. Let's go ahead and keep on trucking. We didn't see either of the cards that we put in. I have not experienced Acolyte of Pain or Slam yet, so I don't know what the disadvantage is of the Injured Blade Master going out, or of there being only 1 copy of Rampage rather than 2, although I will say in that particular game, had I drawn a Slam, I would have been pretty annoyed that it wasn't Rampage, because my minions were pretty damaged, and Slam didn't have any targets. Battle Bunny the Hunter, so could see a variety of decks here. I'm gonna keep that Whirlwind, because my opponent could definitely, you know, play like a Timberwolf or some such nonsense. But yeah, I'm really also happy to have the Harvest Golem here because it's good against multi-shot and deadly shot. I didn't get a second 2-drop, so I'm not going to play the Berserker. Like, I could coin it out and then Whirlwind next turn to, you know, enrage it, but that's not really, again, what I'm trying to do with this deck. I don't want to be hitting him for 5 damage on turn 2 if it means that a steady shot will just, or an arcane shot will just kill off the Berserker. Alright, so he's got a steady shot, so it's good and bad. So it's good because obviously he's not doing anything. It's bad because it suggests that he's got more of the control type of Hunter deck. And I probably feel a lot more comfortable playing against the aggro type with all the weapons that I have. He's thinking, I'm guessing he's thinking about whether or not it's worth it to deadly shot this thing. Probably is. Actually, I don't know. I'm not an expert on constructed, so I don't know if it's worth it to deadly shot this. It probably is. I mean, if it's that or steady shot against a warrior, the warrior's not that likely to drop huge stuff. You can see he's kind of agonizing over the steady shot, so there's clearly something he can do. Either it's to play a minion that he knows will die, or it's to play deadly shot and kill my berserker. He's gonna silence it. I see. Well, that's fine. I don't really mind that. He's gonna arcane shot it. Okay, so the plan here clearly is he's going to try to trade the owl for that berserker there. Okay, now I've got a couple of options here. One option is I could just, of course, play the golem and, swing on by. The other option is I could actually play the coin and Senjin Shieldmaster. The idea there is that I would be protecting the berserker from the owl, and then I could swing by. The problem with that is it leaves the owl on the field, so kill command would kill my Senjin. Also, multi-shot would then be usable. It would kill the berserker and the Senjin. So if I'm going to do that, I would rather actually just trade the owl here. I think I'll hedge my bets then. What I'm going to do, if I'm killing the owl, I don't see much reason to spend the coin. Let's just go ahead and trade that owl off. Put down this golem, which is very nice against deadly shot, multi-shot, all that stuff. And then we'll just play our creatures normally. We'll see what he wants to do here. This is also pretty good against traps, other than freezing trap, I suppose. Starving Buzzard. Okay, well, it looks like he's going to have a beast follow-up here. Scavenging Hyena. Well, that's a good move. So what this does is it draws him a card. And now I have the choice. Either, of course, I kill the Buzzard, and then the Hyena gets bigger. Or I kill the Hyena, but then the Buzzard sticks around and keeps drawing cards. Now, I could, of course, do both things. And that's probably what I'm going to do. Yeah. So Whirlwind would kill off the Buzzard. Whirlwind's not super great right now. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the Frothing Berserker. I'm going to kill that Hyena off. And then I think I'm just going to go ahead and play Heroic Strike. I mean, that's what it's here for. Buzzard is definitely worth Heroic Striking, especially if he's holding on to Unleash the Hound or something. So multi-shot's not good. Deadly shots... Well, deadly shot is a coin flip. If it hits the Frothing Berserker, it's excellent. If it hits the Golem, he probably loses the game. And next turn at 5 mana is a bit awkward. I can't play the Senjin. Explosive Shot is great. It kills the Berserker and then... Well, it kills off one iteration of the Golem anyway. And then he's still at full health. We're in a fair fight here. I'm not doing anything tricky. Neither is he. Got 2 secrets. Oh, geez. Okay. And tracking. Well, I would have tracked first before playing these secrets that he was so excited about. But what's good is that he didn't deal with the Golem, which means I can test for freezing trap and everything. Now, misdirection, I guess, would be the best trap he could have, but even if it is misdirection, and even if it hits the Frothing Berserker, the Frothing Berserker would survive, and so would the Golem. So do I play Acolyte of Pain here? I think I do, because if this is Snipe, that's great. If it's Explosive Trap, it's also great, because the Acolyte would draw me a card off of that. I will totally drop this first. And if it's Misdirection, it is also good, because hitting the Acolyte would be nice. Anyway, it's Snipe, so I sniped out the Acolyte. Now, you don't want to get too excited here. You don't want to attack with this big Berserker. First, you check for Freezing Trap and Misdirection. It's Explosive Trap. Well, that's actually fine, because now what happens is my Golem just comes back. My Berserker got big, and then I swing for 8. And then, yeah, we'll play a Fairy Dragon in the middle here to limit the effectiveness of Explosive Shot. Explosive Shot cannot target the Fairy Dragon. It's not targetable. The main problem is that another Explosive Trap would kill off everything, so here's where I'd really like to have a Rampage for my Berserker. Multi-Shot would have a 2/3 chance of killing off the Berserker. But if it whiffs and hits these two, he's really screwed. He got lucky. He hit my 2 best creatures. Well, that's fine. So he's getting low on cards, you'll notice. He's only got 3 cards to my 5. One of mine is Whirlwind. I'm not sure how useful that's ever going to be, but it's fine. Okay, so I don't think I need the taunt, or do I? Yeah, I want to get some damage through. So we're going to do this. Armor up. Swing for 2. So he's at 20 health. That's an important point. This is the point at which, my weapons are more likely to start going to the face. If the Yeti can get in 1 hit, that'd be great. If he has Explosive Shot, he can clear up both my minions. Notice, by the way, how good this Harvest Golem was. This damaged Golem is kind of a big deal. So this is like partly why I have the Golem in here. Some people are suggesting trade out the Golem for a Worgen, but I mean, what this Golem is doing, a Worgen would not have been able to do. So he attacked me with the Charging Rhino rather than attacking my face, or rather than attacking off my Golem, which is a fair choice, I suppose. I could play the Spiteful Smith and then Whirlwind, but that doesn't really do too much. I could play 2 creatures if I do these, which I think is better. So let's do this. Play another Golem. I have to decide now, do I kill this Charging Rhino, or do I just get 6 damage through? Well, if I were holding weapons or something, I would probably like to get the 6 damage through, but since I'm not holding weapons, I'm kind of more inclined to, I've got 4 points of damage here, I suppose, but that's not really enough to kill this. You know what? I'm going to take a little bit of a chance. I'm just going to go ahead and get 6 damage through. That's a lot of damage. All my burn is still in here then. The Arcanite Reaper, the Gore Howl, both Fiery War Axes, another Korokron Elite, Cruel Taskmaster. I don't think he's likely to clear out my board here, even with his Beast having charge. So I'm taking that risk. Now, I'm kind of banking on the taunt being effective here, but we'll see how it goes. Panther, it has charge because I left the Rhino alive. That's a pretty good card. That also has charge. Well, my little gambit did not pay off, so the Tiger gets to kill my Ascension, and then the Panther has its way with me. Plus, this Charging Rhino still gets to attack itself as well. Boy, this is tough. I probably should have killed this thing. I'd be much happier with these guys not having charge than I am with him having 6 fewer points of health. So he's also trying to race me down. It seems like he thinks that he can kill me before I can kill him. Let's take a look here. I've got 6, 8. 8 plus 5 is, oh my god, 13 damage. Golly. 8 plus 5 is 13 damage, yep. And I cannot play Arcanite and the Korokron because that would be 9 mana. Story of my frickin' life. Alright, well, I've got to kill his stuff here, I think. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the Arcanite Reaper. I'm going to kill off the Charging Rhino, learn my lessons, and armor up. Let's use the Damage Golem to kill off one, the Harvest Golem to kill off the other. We're going to swing for 4 damage here. Whirlwind, very underwhelming here so far, but it does have a purpose. I mean, I could play Spiteful Smith and Whirlwind and Enrage the Smith, and then this does 2 extra damage. I might as well just play the Korokron Elite for 4 damage, though, so it's not really that great. Oh, he has another one. Well, what does he have to follow it up with? Scavenging Hyena. It has charge. So is he still going for my face, or does he think he can? Does he think he can kill me and will he go for my face, or does he think he can win the long game? He has to be a little careful here. I mean, I do have 9 damage, so if he doesn't play a taunt, I will just win with the Korokron Elite. He's gonna kill off my minions. That's a good sign. This did not get any bigger because his beast didn't die. He's going to steady shot me down to 10. Well, that is the game. Close one, though. I'm not exactly sure. Man, maybe I'm just not up to date on, like, the latest and greatest in Hunter trends. But I don't understand exactly what his deck was. So if you know, let me know in the comments. It's not really like any Hunter deck that I would expect to see. I would expect to see either a face roll where he just throws everything at you, and just, like, you know, arcane shots you in the face, all that stuff, or more of a control Hunter where, like, it's just full of removal and almost has no creatures in it. Not exactly sure what that was. But anyway, we won, so that's good. So here we are. Because this is, like, a really, really long win streak now, so I'm kind of flying through the ranks. As soon as I lose one game, it'll really slow me down. But here we are going for rank 14. It's a very interesting system if you think about it. Win streaks aside, you know, you gain a star every time you win, and you lose a star every time you lose. So you have to actually win at least 2 games for every game that you lose in order to get ahead over time, which is kind of difficult to do. I don't want any of these things in my opening hand. I don't want any of these things either. So I've got removal for his early plays, but this is really slow. So I could kill something on turn 2, kill something on turn 3, play the Yeti on turn 4. Oh my god, I should have kept Inner Rage. Who knew? Who knew that I should have kept Inner Rage? Well, I'm not going to coin out a Heroic Strike. I could have. I'm going to take a gamble that I don't need to do that. Oh, man. Okay. Well, here we go. Oh, well, that's actually good. So I'm going to do this. I kill off one of his creatures, and I'm threatening to kill off another, so now he either has to use some removal on this, or he has to let me trade off his 3/2. Either way, I don't think he'd be that happy. Got a Fiery War Axe. Is it going to send it at my face, or will it kill my creature with it? That's the question. I think you should probably kill the Cruel Taskmaster, because by leaving the Fairy Dragon alive, he ultimately deals more damage. He's actually not going to do anything. Interesting. Well, I'm not quite sure what to make of that. Let's go ahead and do the trade here. I'm going to coin out a Yeti. No point heroic striking the Argent Squire at all. Just to pop Divine Shield, and the Cruel Taskmaster didn't work because, of course, Divine Shield. So next turn I might use Cruel Taskmaster and the Yeti's attack to kill off this Argent Squire, but it's also possible he'll play something else that will need to command my attention. The nice thing is I have Heroic Strike and Cruel Taskmaster available. Just note that I can't use both Heroic Strikes in one turn. So, Bloodsail Raider. Some folks are saying I should take out an Amani Berserker and put in Bloodsail Raiders. The Amani Berserkers have been really good. Like, you'll notice, you know, when I had, like, the Holy Nova played against me, it was really great that the Bloodsail Raider, you know, got enraged and all that stuff. So here I've got a couple of options. One option is I can Heroic Strike to kill this. That does take 5 damage to the face. I could then hit the Argent Squire and play Cruel Taskmaster and try to get board control. Then I'll be at 19 health, minus 6 is, 13 health. I'm armoring up, but I mean, that would take some time. The other option is I can just trade the Yeti in for the Bloodsail Raider, but I don't want to do that. That seems wrong. I could also play Senjin, so the Senjin would trade for the Bloodsail Raider. Technically. And technically, he doesn't have enough damage to kill the Senjin with the Argent Squire plus Fireworks, but if among his 3 cards he has some kind of interference, I could end up getting hit for a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and take the safe road. I'm just going to go ahead and Heroic Strike to kill this. Do that, and then another Cruel Taskmaster to finish it off. So my Yeti at 4 health, very epically surviving against Fiery War Axe. Now, some folks were saying I should put in a Narathi Weaponsmith. That would have been very good in this game, to have a Narathi Weaponsmith. But in other times, it might not be as good. Interesting, he chooses to trade creatures. He starts now to... Oh, wow, I don't know what he's doing. I think he should have kept going for the face. I mean, he could have gotten me down to, like, 12. Probably was more likely to win that way than by doing what he's doing here. Anyway, I'm fine with that. So now I have card advantage. He's got a weapon and 3 cards. I have just 5 cards. So I have card advantage. He's got the play, but it seems like his deck's very aggressive. Unless it has some good endgame as well, I should be alright. So Rogue Strike, very good card for him here. Lets him kill off my Weaponsmith, which is otherwise a very difficult hard card to deal with. He armors up before attacking. I'm honestly kind of surprised to see that at this level of play. Interesting. And he's got another weapon. Well, that's fine by me. So what we're going to do here is play Ascension. Battle Rage could cycle for a card. Heroic Strike could hit him in the face. I think I'd rather just armor up, though, honestly, because his deck seems pretty aggressive, and I've got a really good card surplus, so unless, you know, he has some really, really amazing cards, he should lose just a card disadvantage. Frothing Berserker. Ah, this hurts. Okay, so he's going to damage my guy. Oh, wow, that's interesting. So now he primed me up for a Rampage. I have so many ways to do this. Well, I could Rampage, make this a 6-5, and then just kill the Frothing Berserker. I could Heroic Strike to kill off the Harvest Golem, or Heroic Strike to kill off the Frothing Berserker, actually. That makes a lot more sense. Rampage here to hit that. He'd have to use the Golem that spawns and the Fiery War Axe to finish this off. I could play the Yeti, though. I think I want to get this Yeti in here, actually. So what I'm going to do here... Oh, I want to play Yeti, Rampage, and Battle Rage, but Battle Rage, unfortunately, would stop me from playing Rampage if I play the Yeti. I could play these 3 cards, Heroic Strike to kill the Frothing Berserker, Battle Rage to draw 2 cards, and then Rampage to kill off the Golem. Okay, we'll do Battle Rage here. Let's not miss a chance to Battle Rage. So always draw cards first. Here's Slam. This could have been a Rampage. Note that fact. Slam doesn't really work here at all in the slightest, but I think... Okay, we'll do this. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use Heroic Strike rather than the Fiery War Axe. So we'll use Heroic Strike to kill that. We'll use this. Well, there's no point hitting the Golem, so I might as well just hit him in the face. Yeah, pass the turn. Yeah, there's no point hitting the Golem because I take 2 damage and then the Fiery War Axe finishes me off. Well, I might as well just have him do that on his turn. It's only top decking 1 card. Unless it's an Execute, this really won't... I mean, Execute or some other kind of silence thing, it's not going to be much of a problem. So this game we just won through card advantage, and I think that typifies what I'm going for with this deck, is just being really flexible. You know, the cards can function in different ways. And he has a Weaponsmith. Alright, fair enough. Whirlwind would actually be really great here. I could slam this and Whirlwind both of his creatures to death. Alas, it is not to be. What we're going to do here, I think, is play a Yeti... a War Axe, kill the weaponsmith. Now, do I slam this damaged golem? So if I slam the damaged golem, it'll take it off the map, but I lose the chance for card draw. He's only got 4 damage here. I think my Yeti's safe. Let's just actually armor up, because the health could be nice. So yeah, unless he plays... He could, like, play Gromesh Hellscream or something, and then get right back in the game. That would be unfortunate. That maybe is a legendary I could consider crafting and putting into my deck. I just don't want to craft the class-specific legendaries. They typically aren't very good. Looks like he has an execute. He's still armoring up before attacking, which is really something you should never do. I mean, unless of course it's possible he's not playing with any of the cards where that's relevant. He might not be playing with Shield Slam or Mortal Strike. But still, it's just as a matter of habit as a warrior. You should always armor up after attacking. He just... okay. Well, that's fine. So now I think, you know, we can start going for the face here. Getting some more health. I wouldn't slam my own creature for the card unless I was really desperate. And well, we should be able to win. My opponent hasn't really played any endgame so far here. Mortal Strike to kill off my Senjin. It's like a fireball. He's armoring up before attacking, as always. And Leper Gnome, I don't know, man. My opponent's deck, I guess it was an aggro deck. He had Argent Squire, Abusive Sergeant, here's a Leper Gnome, so I guess it was aggro. But he then started trading with me, which I don't know if that was the best move, simply because if he is playing aggro, he should have seen that my deck was a bit more controlly with like things like Chillwind Yeti. And so he should have just kept on going for the face. I think I would have won regardless, though, simply because I just manhandled him. Alright, we're up to rank 14, which is cool. But as I was saying earlier, for the Arathi Weaponsmith, it's really great against a deck like the one I just played. But you'll notice I ended up... That's such a good matchup, it seems, that I ended up winning anyway. So I don't want to put in something that's a 3/3 for 4 mana with a 2/2 weapon. That, like, first of all, the weapon a lot of times is just going to go straight to the face. And second of all, if I'm holding on to an Arcanite Reaper, a Fiery War Axe, or my Gorehowl, then the Arathi Weaponsmith becomes unplayable because it would destroy my weapon. I like to have the Senjins and the Yetis in here being reliable 4-drops. Hazel, or Hazel, it seems like a familiar name. I wonder if this is someone who's popular or like a famous streamer. So definitely the Fairy Dragon is kept in the Gorehowl's mulligan. Do I keep the Yeti? I think I'd rather fish for some more plays. And alright, that was a pretty good mulligan, I think. So we got this on turn, well, depending on what happens. This could be played on turn 2. Or the Fiery War Axe. Like if she plays turn 1 Defias Ringleader with the coin, then I'd probably want to bring out the Fiery War Axe to take it out. It sucks that I end up taking 6 damage from those guys to kill them. But, you know, it's better than having them do even more damage. And then the Frothing Berserker will come out on turn 3. Time will kind of pass the Fairy Dragon by. But I'm just hoping she doesn't have turn 1 coin Defias Ringleader. And, alright, she mulliganed 3 cards, so she's fishing. Of course, the one card that she kept could have been a Ringleader. Let's just hope she passes the turn. Passes the turn. Passes the turn. Oh, wow, that's great. Okay, so Fairy Dragon's a nice drop against rogues. She could still play Dagger Coin Deadly Poison and kill this thing. But this guy survives against Deadly Poison. She'd need some help to finish it off on turn 3. And other than that, she really can't kill this thing very easily right now. SI Agent! Oh my god. I forgot about that. So her having the coin, she didn't have Defias Ringleader, but it, you know, really helped her anyway. So Fiery War Axe over the Frothing Berserker. I don't want her just to make a dagger and then, you know, use the 3 power from the SI Agent and kill the Frothing Berserker. Man, SI Agent, that was very good there. Nat Pagel. Well, that deserves a well played. Okay, and he of course gets the fish. Fiery War Axe not quite good enough to kill this thing. I could Kor'kron Elite and trade with it. I could hit it with the axe and finish it off with the Cruel Taskmaster. Not a fan of that play though, and I have nothing else to do. I could play Chillwind Yeti, but this is a 4/4, so like I do kind of have to deal with it. I think actually I'll just do this. I wish I could kill it with my weapon. Neither of us comes out ahead in that exchange because she played Nat Pagel and Cold Blood, so that's 2 cards in 1 package. But Nat Pagel drew a card, so then I killed him with 1 card of my own. Anyway, what is it? I don't understand what this deck is. Her deck is very difficult to get a read on. Cruel Taskmaster plus Axe is not enough. Frothing Berserker just dies now. So play on my own Yeti and pass the turn. This might be some kind of control rogue. Yeah, I guess that might be what it is. Some kind of control, like with this SI agent. This junk. Ugh. Alright. This isn't quite enough. Damn it. Frothing Berserker, if I play it and I use the axe to kill the Chillwind Yeti, I don't have anything good to do with the remaining 3 mana. I guess I could replay Fiery War Axe. I'd rather, though, if I am just going to play a minion, I'd rather just play the best one I've got. So right now, my minion outclasses hers. She has 6 cards plus a creature. I have 5 cards when I draw plus a creature, but mine's better than hers. So does she have Assassinate or Sap to get rid of this thing? It's a little bit difficult to kill conventionally with only 2 power here. She'd have to combo out another Cold Blood or something to just do it with 1 card. Argent Commander is another option, definitely, so she'll get the kill. But she has to lose her Argent, our Defender of Argus there. But what a real back and forth this is. I could play the Frothing Berserker and the Fiery War Axe. That would leave me with 2 mana to play this, which does nothing. So I might as well use up a little bit more of my mana. We'll do this, Fiery War Axe, hit, pass the turn. Now I could have actually, I guess, armored up. I am getting a bit low on health, but this doesn't seem to be like an aggro rogue deck. It had the Cold Blood, though, on Nat Pagel. Man, we're seeing some creative decks today. So she's getting a bit ahead now. She has 6 cards to my 5, one of which is a weapon, soon to be 6. If this weapon can kill something, that's great if it hits her in the face. I mean, she's got such high health, I really don't want to be hitting her in the face, to be honest. So I could do wacky things. I could play Korokron and give it a buff with Cruel Taskmaster and hit for 6, but that's not really what I want to do with my life. I'd rather just get a little bit of control here. I'm not sure how I can do that, though, if she keeps playing cards like this. Damn it. Alright, so she makes a dagger. Please just pass the turn. Argent Squire. What is Argent Squire doing in this deck? I don't understand what these decks are that people are playing with today. Okay, so what do we do here? I think it's time to start growing a Frothing Berserker, that's for sure. I mean, or I could play these 3 creatures. That actually seems pretty good as well. I could make the Cruel Taskmaster, have the Senjin trade with the Yeti, but I don't really want to do that. I really want to hit the Yeti with the axe and use the Cruel Taskmaster to finish it off, but I can't because it's not enough damage. Oh, jeez. Oh, I could use this and the Cruel Taskmaster to kill the Yeti. And then the axe and the Senjin to kill that thing. With 2 mana left over, just have a Money Berserker chilling out. Is that the best way? I do think this Yeti has to die one way or the other. Now, the Yeti doesn't actually kill the Senjin, but if I leave the Argent Squire alive, she'll have an easy way to finish it off and have the dagger available for killing my minions. Man, alright, well, I'm not exactly sure this is the right move, but it's the move that we're going to try. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm just not going to play the Cruel Taskmaster. I'm just going to armor up and pass the turn. So yes, she can kill off my Senjin with the Divine Shield. But I've got these creatures here, which hopefully survive the turn. I mean, the odds of them surviving, pretty low. But I feel like killing this would have required too much effort. Okay, so there's the Divine Shield. Deadly Poison. Cannot quite kill the Frothing Berserker without help. Oh my god, she has another one of those. Fuck. Well, I think I'm going to lose now. She's getting way too much advantage. Fuck. She had both of her Argent Commanders. I don't have an easy way to kill this thing. There's no cleave in this deck. God damn it. Well, I have to do what I have to do, which is this, and this. Just put everything on the field, but now her Deadly Poison Dagger kills my Money Berserker, and she has, at the end of the day, when the smoke is cleared, 4 cards. Because the Argent Commanders just gave her so much value. Both of them ate 2 of my cards. Unless I get, like, Gore Howl and just kill 15 creatures with it, which is getting kind of difficult with my health being as low as it is. I'm pretty much hosed. Oh, backstab for 3 damage. Okay. Well, you can't win them all. That was a very weird deck. She had just enough of a balance of, like, aggro and just mid-rangey goodness, like Azure Drake and Argent Commander. I wasn't able to get the right beat on what she was doing. But if I had been the second player, I could have won because she didn't have any plays until turn 3 with that SI agent. And if she hadn't had a coin to coin it out and kill my Fairy Dragon with, I would have probably won the game. Damn. That's annoying. So anyway, 4 cards versus Gorehowl and 9 health is the moral of this story. Ugh, it sucks. There was a billion times where just I couldn't quite deal enough damage. I was like 1 damage shy of killing things with like Fiery War Axe and whatnot. Is she really gonna pass the turn? She's sitting on like a ton of removal, I guess. Okay, well, we're gonna keep playing. I'm not gonna Gorehowl her face when she's at 28 health, but let's see what removal she's got for this Yeti. She's a backstab. And a Fan of Knives. And another Fan of Knives. Well, she was holding on to lots of removal there. I think my opponent just had a really good draw. Oh, Edwin Van Cleef. That was a bit of a dick move saying well played early like that. Whatever. I can't kill myself against it, so we'll just concede. That was annoying. Yeah, if she'd like been choking on those Fans of Knives, you know, instead of like drawing Argent Commanders, I could have had it. So I think it was a fair game. I don't think any of my card changes mattered there. I didn't see Acolyte of Pain, and I didn't see Slam, so yeah, we still haven't really found out if those are any good. The one game that we have seen Slam, I actually did wish it were a Rampage, which is what I replaced for it. But still haven't seen the Acolyte, which is not that unlikely. I mean, any one particular card's not that likely to show up. But I wouldn't say that loss, which ended my pretty long win streak, I think I won streak from like 19 down to 15 here. That one loss doesn't really make me lose confidence in the deck overall, because I could have had that game, just if things had gone a little bit differently. I'm not sure what differences there would have had to be in my deck for me to win that one. I mean, if the Fairy Dragon were a 2-3 instead of a 3-2, I could have survived against the SI Agent, but it's possible that she could have had like more conventional removal there. Okay, I'll just keep this. So I've got a guaranteed 4-drop, I've got a 2-drop, which is very good. Strives against Backstab and Eviscerate. It really only dies to Deadly Poison, and apparently SI Agent that was coined out. Second rogue in a row, different name I think, so this is a different rogue. And of course I am once again first against the rogue, as is the story of my life. Maybe this one's AFK and I'll win the game for free because she's not at her computer. I wish you could see what the timer was for these mulligan decisions. So how happy am I with the cards? Well, the Cruel Taskmaster I'm very happy with. The fact that it can deal damage or act as a kind of 2-mana Dark Iron Dwarf is really great. Fairy Dragon I'm pretty happy with. I mean, it gives me early plays. Senjin, happy with that as well. I think I'm pretty happy with all the cards. So that's where it gets really tough, I think, in deck building and constructed in general. Is where you're happy with all the cards, but like, you can take away a card that's really good and replace it with a card that makes the deck perform even better. Those kind of changes are difficult to see. And my opponent is AFK at the moment. I think she took the maximum amount of time to mulligan, and she's not hovering over anything right now. So we might just win here with a time win. Or this could be a griefer who waits until the fuse is right around here and then concedes then passes the turn every turn, which I will play. Maybe I'll edit it out of the video if that's what this opponent's doing, but I do not ever concede against those people. Okay, anyway, she's actually got a play. Looks like that's the coin. Is it a Defias Ringleader? It's Coin Dagger Mastery. Oh my god. Okay, well, almost certainly then. Almost certainly she's holding on to Deadly Poison. I have to assume someone at rank 14 does not just coin out a dagger for poops and giggles. So, do I play the Fairy Dragon knowing she's just going to get Deadly Poison to death? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to put a Fiery War Axe in my hand. I'm not going to hit her in the face with it. We'll just sit tight. Let her choke on her Deadly Poison, and then I'm going to play a Harvest Golem and let her choke on her Deadly Poison some more, and then the Senjin. Now, that could have been the greatest mind game of all time, but I just can't imagine that someone at rank 14 would just coin dagger. Like someone who's playing rogue and just coining daggers when they don't have another 2-drop. I just can't see them doing very well in the arena unless they have a good reason. So I'm pretty sure she had a deadly poison. Now, granted, I mean, it's probably kind of a mistake because you might as well just pass the turn, and then if you need deadly poison on turn 2, you can still make a dagger, coin the deadly poison out, and put it on. So perhaps I'd like overthought it and gave my opponent way too much credit. Oh, that's what she was doing. She was making sure that the Bloodsail Raider could get a +1 in benefit. Well, whatever. I think I'm still happy with my choices. We will just kill that Bloodsail Raider, and we'll pass the turn. So she has no coin, which means that's one fewer way of turning on combo. I've got some good plays coming up here with this engine. Golem's a great creature, always. She has that as well, of course. That's totally fine. Backstab. Ah, I see. She's going to try to kill off my Golem here. So she'll dagger it once now and then plan to dagger it next turn. Very well. It's fine by me. What I'm going to go ahead and do here is protect my Golem. And I will hit this thing with my Fireworks. I think that's fine because I've got Cruel Taskmaster back here to ding this thing to death if it doesn't run into my Senjin on this turn. So pretty good start, I'd say. She's got 5 cards plus damaged golems. That's 6. I've got 6, soon to be 7. I am the first player, though, note. So the fact that I'm actually like drawing and I'm going to be ahead of card after I draw is a really good sign, which makes sense because I mean I killed the Bloodsail Raider with my axe, and then I killed part of the golem with the axe as well. She also used up her coin already. So yeah, this looks pretty good. I mean, I'm not saying the game is over or anything. I'm just saying it seems pretty solid. So probably Cruel Taskmaster and Fairy Dragon somewhere in the middle to guard against Betrayals is going to be the move next turn. Probably Cruel Taskmaster. It'll be like Golem, Taskmaster, Dragon, and then the Senjin on the right. That's probably the way that I want to do it. Although then the Betrayal could target the Taskmaster, killing the Dragon, and the damaged Golem. Maybe I want the damaged Golem in the middle. Actually, that's the same thing. Yeah, there's no perfect way to play around Betrayal. When you have like enough minions, it gets hard. My opponent's a real thinker here. She is pondering and pondering. I guess she just doesn't have any good way of killing this engine and is wondering whether it's worth it to like backstab damaged Golem and dagger. Oh my god, am I calling it or am I calling it? Oh, does she have an Eviscerate? SI Agent! Oh, well played, madam. Well played. She will dagger it down. And the question is, will she trade golems? She will. Okay, well, that was fair enough. So, here, I could either make a Senjin or I could make 2 Fairy Dragons. I think I'd rather make a Senjin. This is a little bit riskier. Because if she has removal for it, then, you know, that sucks compared to having an extra creature on the field. But I'm gambling she doesn't have removal for it because look at what she did last time. She backstabbed, threw away a creature, and then, like, also used... Or she backstabbed, played this, and then daggered it. So she didn't really have a good answer to it last time. I doubt she got a better one this time. She'd have to have top-decked and Assassinate to do better. Or have a way to combo out Eviscerate while also having 2 mana left over to make a dagger. So next turn with 6 mana, I can actually play a whole lot of this stuff. 3 power creatures are pretty good. And then a Cruel Taskmaster will hopefully have a target somewhere. It may or may not. She still seems not to like her options. Senjin, I think, seems to be a very good card at the moment. You know, things change in Constructed. Today's good card might be tomorrow's bad card. That was a really great phrase. But right now it seems to be good. Just currently people don't often have something that's better than a 3/5 with Taunt. Oh my god, she's so slow. There was like a thread on Reddit recently, like, what emotes should we add? And someone posted a pretty funny picture with like the emotes that they see in the game, and it was like, fuck you, hurry the fuck up. Seems about right. Seems about right. She's gonna make a dagger. She's gonna deadly poison. And she's just gonna run out of time. Did she have time to queue up this attack? She did. Well, it didn't really matter too much either way. Harvest Golem, okay. I don't see any reason to play a Cruel Taskmaster here, so what we'll do then is we'll play Fairy Dragon and Harvest Golem. Not the best turn. I would have rather played a Spiteful Smith or a Chillwind Yeti, but you can't always get the draws. This is a time where Cruel Taskmasters are not that great. She might actually win, because I gave her a really big window here. Turn 6 pass, and I pretty much did nothing. Like, these are kind of chumpy creatures. Golem's good. Thankfully, like, if this had been a Raging Worgen, you know, it would just die. Well, that wouldn't be very good right now. So the durability of this thing is very important. And in fact, it was already important earlier in this match when it died and then to her weapon and then respawned. It died to a backstab and a dagger and then came back and then was a nuisance there as well. I don't know if this opponent is just that bad at the game that they have to think about every turn like this, or if she's trying to, like, hedge her bets. Like, maybe she's, like, she knows exactly what she's going to do, but she's just going to wait it out every single turn just to see if I concede because I'm impatient. That's fine by me. I mean, it kind of sucks that she's screwing up my video by being a frickin' dickbag, but what are you going to do? Ah, there's the bird plane. I think that if you spend a lot of time thinking on one turn and you get to this state, and you end up making a move, like, your timer next turn should be shorter. It's not like if you run out of time, then, like, you should, you know, when you run out of time, it automatically comes back to the fuse at the start of your next turn. But, so it shouldn't be like that if you just think a lot. But if you think a lot, it should penalize you somewhat. Anyway, okay. Well, my opponent just leaves. Why did I say well played? My opponent is not there. What? Oh my god, are we bugged out? Okay, I was gonna say, that would be annoying. So, okay, I'm sorry, folks. That was a really lame game to end on. I don't think I can do that. We're going to play one more game. Sorry if this video is long. We're going to do one more game because that was really kind of a sad way to go. See if we can crest the halfway point of rank 14. And, yeah, I expect this deck... I mean, unless there's, like, a huge increase in the number of really, really good decks coming up soon here, I think this deck seems like, you know, at least with my current win rate, I'm definitely winning more than 2 games for every game that I'm losing, so I should be able to make it to, like, rank 10 at least. It's just there when my lack of legendaries and fine-tuning might start to inhibit me some more. Still have not seen an Acolyte of Pain. Still haven't figured out how that's going to work for me. Haven't really gotten a chance to see whether Slam is good or not. Taranox the Priest. Alright, that's fine. I like playing against priests. We're getting our wacky warrior cards. Yep, all the warrior spells here. That is one problem with this deck. It does have the potential for some pretty bad draws, but, you know, that's what mulligans are for. Okay, this is fine. Fiery War Axe on turn... I mean, we have a curve. I'm totally happy to play a Fiery War Axe on turn 2, even if there's nothing to use it on. Couldn't care less. He passes on turn 1. He didn't play a Northshire Cleric. He's heard the jingle. And we're ready to curve out. Fiery War Axe, Frothing Berserker, Chillwind Yeti. The War Axe on turn 2 will hopefully protect the Berserker on turn 3, but nope, we're going to play Fairy Dragon instead. Now you might say, well, Boris, why not play a Fiery War Axe? If you play something here, don't you want the Fiery War Axe in your hand so your Berserker doesn't die? Yes, but I'd rather use the Fairy Dragon for that purpose than the Fiery War Axe, because if he doesn't play anything here, look how much better this is. I've got this Fairy Dragon ready to attack, and I'm not wasting charges in my Fiery War Axe. Well, my opponent has a very, very, very slow start. Which, again, I expect priests to have slower than average starts, and he's in trouble now. Like, I would just say he's already kind of in trouble, because I'm about to drop a Yeti. I can just imagine, like, a gangster rapper being like, I'm about to drop a Yeti, bitch. But, anyway, I'm about to drop a Yeti, so he's in trouble. Without a Shadow Word Pain for this guy, like, right now, he's not going to be doing so hot. Honestly, I wouldn't even mind seeing a Shadow Word Pain. Whatever. Shadow Word Pain, yeah, bring it on, come on. Bring it on like Diddy Kong. Yep. Yeah, okay, sure, and then you heal yourself. But I just play a Yeti and I keep on trucking, and then he's just behind. I've got Arcanite Reaper, like if he plays a Light Spawn or something, I've got Arcanite Reaper the following turn to kill his drop. So, Whirlwind. Don't remember the last time that card did something good. Actually, no, I take it back. I used Whirlwind one time to kill one of my opponent's, like, damaged golems, because I really wanted it off the board. I just have not seen it be... Oh my god, are you going to play Power Word Shield on this? You motherfucker. Okay. That's annoying. Well, let's take a look here. We can, Arcanite Reaper and trade away the Fairy Dragon, or Arcanite Reaper and attack with the Yeti. The problem with the attacking with the Yeti is these guys both remain at 2 health, then a Holy Nova kills them both off. I'm not a fan of that. I'd rather just lose the Fairy Dragon straight up. If I use the Fiery War Axe and the Fairy Dragon, then tragically it's only 6 damage, unless I also throw in a Cruel Taskmaster. I think that's what I want to do. I mean, I could play Spiteful Smith. I just can't play. I mean, I could play Spiteful Smith and just run both my creatures in. Oh, yeah, that's what I want to do. Yes, that's what I want to do. Why use a weapon when I can get a Spiteful Smith in play? That's it. Okay, we're going to pass the turn. I actually wish this were another Rampage, honestly, at this point. But I mean, if the Frothing Berserker had survived, this would be really good. So Spiteful Smith is like a Priest's worst nightmare. Priests just have no way of killing this thing, like, at all. Period. Other than, like, Argent Commander plus Holy Smiter, just, like, 2-card combos. It's just really, really terrible for them to deal with. His Shadow Words are rotting in his hand. This is... Oh my god, these freaking Power Word shields. Okay, so now is when I might have to start thinking about racing. 7-8, that would be a little bit difficult for me to deal with. Okay, I could play Arcanite Reaper plus Whirlwind. That would deal 1 damage to this, make the Arcanite Reaper deal 7. I'm actually going to do that. I'm actually going to do that. That's fine. I mean, I could have raced against the Ventricle Mercenary, but why do that when I can deal a ton of damage to him, have 2 difficult to deal with minions on the board, and a weapon in my hand, and a whole bunch more stuff. So there's Holy Fire. The 5 damage is clutch, but I mean, now he just passes the turn, which is fine. Slam is not super great here. Let's go ahead and play the Yeti and the Acolyte. And I will send this Arcanite Reaper at his face. I think there's a decent chance of me being able to burn him out. I kind of wish this were a Injured Blade Master, though. Shadow Madness. Oh my god. Oh my god. If that were an Injured Blade Master, I'd be doing so much better. He draws the card off of it. He kills off 2 of my creatures, and he gets to play Ascension. Yeah. That should have been an Injured Blade Master. So that's, you know, what is it? Acolyte of Pain 0, Injured Blade Master 1 in a pretty epic fashion. Luckily, Slam is actually really good here. I do draw a card. Got the Fiery War Axe to finish off this guy. We're going to swing there. Play this. We're going to swing there. So yes, if it had been an Injured Blade Master, as per the original draft of the deck, he couldn't have used Shadow Madness on any of my creatures. It would have been dead in his hand, and he probably would have lost much more easily. Now he's got a lot of cards. He's low on health. I've got the killing damage, but... I mean, he could catch back up in theory if he's got enough disruption/removal. Another Holy Fire. That 5 damage. And, oh my gosh, this is a very important Tink Master. So I got lucky and got the Dinosaur, but if that had been the Squirrel, I probably would have lost the game. Okay, so, well, if it had been the Squirrel, I could not have used the Taskmaster on it. I would have had 3 plus 4 is 7 damage. He'd be at 4 health. Yeah. It's lucky that that was a Dinosaur. But then again, he got lucky that he had 2 Holy Fires and a Shadow Madness, so whatever. Doink. And Heroic Strike is the kill. That was a good way to end it. Okay, Acolyte of Pain puts up a pretty poor showing there. We'll see if he continues to put up a poor showing. In fact, in that case, I'll be happy to replace him back with the Blade Master. But Slam over the Rampage, I think in that case was pretty good. Because, yeah, that actually helped me kill this engine off in a very, very, very efficient way and keep on dealing damage. Okay. Well, good games. Thank you for watching. As always, please give your deck suggestions in the comments below. Again, I'm not really trying to do an Enrage deck here, but if you kind of understand what the theme of the deck is and you feel like I'm not doing it as well as I could be, clearly the deck does struggle sometimes, let me know. In particular, let's just take a quick look at the card list. The cards that I am most suspicious of, and of course you may have different opinions, if so, tell me. I am most suspicious of Whirlwind. Hasn't really come up very often. Battle Rage often is just a draw 2, which is fine, but I'm not sure that it's useful enough. The Acolyte I'm getting to be a bit suspicious of, and everything else I'm actually pretty happy with. So let me know what you think, and I'll see you back soon for some more Quest to Legend.